task, you're going to read a passage and then listen to a lecture related to that passage, and then take the information from both of those sources and write a short essay. But today we're going to be looking at the independent task. So here you're going to be given an essay topic, and usually with this type of task, you're going to be asked to give your opinion on something and then support your opinion. So the lesson outline for this class is a sample essay. So I'm going to actually go through with you a sample essay paragraph by paragraph. And as I do that, you're going to actually write your own essay paragraph by paragraph using the structures that I show you. So on test day, your screen, when you get to the independent writing section, is going to look like this. So here are your directions. For this task, you'll write an essay in response to a question that asks you to state, explain, and support your opinion on an issue. You have 30 minutes to plan, write, and revise your essay. Typically, an effective essay will contain a minimum of 300 words. Your essay will be judged on the quality of your writing. This includes the development of your ideas, the organization of your essay, and the quality and accuracy of the language you use to express your ideas. So these are the things that you're actually marked on: the development of your idea, which means how well you support your opinion, the organization of your idea, so how you express those ideas in your paragraphs, and the quality and accuracy of your language. So that's related to vocabulary and grammar. Okay, and then you're going to see this on the screen. It's going to, again, repeat the directions, but in a more brief way. So read the question below. You have 30 minutes to plan, write, and revise your essay, and it should be a minimum of 300 words. Below the direction is your question. So this is the example question that I'm going to use throughout this lesson for my essay. And then on the right side of the screen, you have your features here where you can cut, paste, and undo. And as you type, you can see your word count displayed. And then here is the space where you actually type your essay. Okay, so let's take a look at my example. Here is my question. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Universities should give the same amount of money to their student sports activities as they give to their university libraries. Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. So here's the question. Do you agree or disagree? So here you have to choose a side and explain why you chose that side. Here's the thing that you're actually arguing about. So in this case, it's universities should give the same amount of money to student sports activities as they do to libraries. So the question you must answer is, do you agree? In my case, yes, I do agree that universities should fund sports facilities the same way they fund libraries. But I have to use specific reasons and examples to support my opinion. All right, so this is what you're being marked on, not your actual opinion, but how well you actually support and develop that opinion. So here's my sample essay, which I'm actually going to break down for you as we go. As you can see, this is a 4-paragraph essay. I've got an introduction at the beginning and a conclusion at the end, and the middle is composed of 2 body paragraphs. All right, you are going to write your own essay as we go through this lesson. I'm going to break it up into the 4 parts that you just saw: the introduction, body 1 and 2, conclusion. So first, let's take a look at an introduction. So using my essay question that universities should give the same amount of money to student sports activities as they give to libraries, my introduction starts with a general statement, then moves into a more specific statement, and then gives my opinion. So for example, traditionally, universities focus on academics over sports. So here I haven't mentioned libraries or sports facilities, but I've given a general sort of idea of what the essay is going to be about. So universities, and then academics versus sport. Then I move into my more specific part of my introduction, where I specifically address the question. As universities are centres for learning, most prestigious universities have very rich libraries to offer a wealth of knowledge and resources to their students. Most universities also have sports tracks and swimming pools, but these facilities are usually not as developed or well-funded as libraries. So here I've introduced the specifics. I've talked about libraries and I've talked about sports facilities in universities. Then I finished the introduction by stating my opinion. In my opinion, universities should invest as much in student sporting activities as they do in libraries, and this essay will explain why. So it's the job of the introduction to introduce the topic in general, then introduce the reader into the more specific idea related back to the question, and then to tell the reader what your opinion is and explain to them that this essay is going to explain why. And then you're going to go on and proceed in your body paragraph to support your opinion. Okay, it's your turn. You're going to write an introduction, but it's going to be for a different essay topic. So pen and paper ready. Here's your essay topic. Do you agree with the following statement? Grades encourage students to learn. Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. So the thing that you have to agree with is, do grades encourage students to learn? Yes or no? Now, your introduction should begin with a general statement, a specific statement, and then end with your opinion. So you've got 2 minutes to write up about 3 sentences. And your time starts now. Okay, time is up. How did you go with writing your introduction? All right, we're going to move on now to the body paragraphs. So I'm going to show you an example of my first body paragraph. Back to my question about universities funding sports facilities in the same way they fund libraries. So you always want to begin your paragraph with a paragraph topic. Mine is, firstly, much has been published about the connection between physical and mental strength. This paragraph topic sentence tells the reader what that paragraph is going to be about. So in this case, you know that I'm going to be talking about the link between physical and mental strength. Then I need to explain that. I need to explain how that relates to my question. So this means that the stronger and more healthy the body, the stronger and more healthy the mind. Now I'm going to go into more specific detail. Physical exercise leads to more energy and focus, which can then be applied to academic study. Students who are more physically active will have more physical and mental reserves to face the challenges of academic life. Then I want to conclude my topic, bring my paragraph to an end. This is why universities should invest in sports facilities. Okay, so let's break down this structure a little bit. I start with a paragraph topic, which is the connection between physical and mental strength. I then explain what I mean by that. Basically, I mean that when the mind is strong and healthy, the body is, when the body is strong and healthy, the mind is also strong and healthy. Then I link this to my topic by saying physical exercise leads to more energy and focus, which can be applied to academic study. And I link the physical activity to mental reserves and how that can help students face the challenges of academic life. This is why universities should invest in sports facilities. So this is why, therefore, for these reasons. So these are good sort of ways to end your paragraph and link it back full circle to your topic. Okay, so using that structure, you're going to write your body paragraph. And remember, your topic is, do grades encourage students to learn? You're going to start with a paragraph topic sentence, which introduces your opinion. You're going to then explain your opinion, give some more specific details, and then conclude your topic. You can start your conclusion with something like, therefore, this is why, or for these reasons. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do that. And your time starts now. Oops. All right, how did you go writing your first body paragraph? So hopefully with that paragraph, you were able to choose one reason why you either agree or disagree that grades encourage students to learn, explain that reason, support it with a detail, and then conclude it by linking it back to your topic. Okay, I'm going to show you my second example body paragraph related to my question. Again, I follow the same structure. So in this case, my paragraph topic starts with, on the other hand, there are those who say that students can participate in sports outside of university and that they are individually responsible for their physical health. However, I disagree. So that's a good way to start a paragraph, actually, by introducing the opposing idea and then what holders of that belief think, and then contradicting that by saying, however, I disagree. So that's what I did in this case. Then I go on to explain why I disagree. Most students only work part-time or not at all. And then I give some more detail. Therefore, they do not have the disposable income to spend on expensive gym memberships. And without good sporting facilities on campus, many otherwise would not participate in physical activity. And I conclude my topic by linking it back to my opinion. So it would be beneficial for students, for universities to invest more in sports facilities for students to use on campus. So as you can see, my paragraph follows a circular structure. I start with my topic, I explain it, I give some more detailed information, and then I come back to my topic again in my conclusion sentence. Okay, it's your turn to have a go at writing your second body paragraph using the same structure. Now, you might want to do what I did with my first body paragraph, which was start with the opposite opinion and then say that you disagree. Okay, and then go on to explain why. So here you go, 5 minutes. Okay, so now you've written 2/3 of your essay. You have written your introduction and your 2 body paragraphs. And now we're back, or now we're down to, sorry, the last paragraph, which is your conclusion. Now, lots of people sort of write their essay and then get to the conclusion and either run out of time or can't think of anything to say. Now, the conclusion is probably one of the easiest paragraphs to write in your essay because it only really consists of summaries. So firstly, you want to summarize your opinion and then summarize the topics that you talked about in your body paragraphs. So here's my example. To conclude, though the prestige of universities is usually measured by their academic facilities, such as their libraries, I personally believe that they should start paying more attention to students' physical health by investing more in sporting facilities on campus. So I stated that opinion in my introduction, I supported and explained it in my body paragraphs, and I'm summarizing it again in my conclusion. Then I want to end my conclusion with summarizing the topics. This is the why. Why do I think that sporting facilities should be as well funded as libraries? Well, because this will help students who cannot afford gym memberships to get the much needed exercise that will assist with their mental and academic performance. Now, with the summary of topics, you're not mentioning any new information in your conclusion. Your conclusion is purely to recap or tie together everything that you've already mentioned in your body paragraphs. So in my body paragraphs, I talked about mental health and the link between physical health and mental health, and I related that to academic performance. Okay, so that was in my first body paragraph. And in my second body paragraph, I talked about, well, students can't afford gym membership, so they can't afford to work out outside of university, and that's why universities should fund sports centres. So I'm just repeating the same ideas, but I'm using different words, synonyms, and different sentence structures, so to avoid repetition. So it's your turn to write your conclusion. So again, grades encourage students to learn. Here you're summarizing your opinion, whether you agree or disagree, and then summarizing the topics. So these are the why. Why do you agree or disagree? Using the ideas you discussed in your body paragraphs. So you've got 1.5 minutes to do that. Okay, how did you go with writing your conclusion? So by now you have written a full essay, full 4-paragraph essay, and it should be about 300 words. Now, on the test day, you're going to see the word count displayed on your screen, but you might want to just quickly count your words to make sure you have written 300 words. An easy way to do that, instead of counting every individual word, is to just count the amount of words on the first line of your paper, and then count the amount of lines you have and multiply them. That'll give you an average word count. Okay, but now I'm going to show you my sample essay. So the same essay that I showed you paragraph by paragraph, but now I'm going to go through it sentence by sentence with you. And you can compare it to yours. Although they're on different topics, you can also take a look at how well you follow the sentence structure. So I start off my introduction with a general sentence. Traditionally, universities focus on academics over sport. Now, although this is general, it's still linked to my topic. Then I move into a more specific sentence which relates directly to my question. As universities are centres for learning, most prestigious universities have very rich libraries to offer a wealth of knowledge and resources to their students. Most universities also have sports tracks and swimming pools, but these facilities are not as developed or well funded as libraries. Now I move into giving my opinion. In my opinion, universities should invest as much in student sporting activities as they do in libraries, and this essay will explain why. My first body paragraph. I started with a paragraph topic. Firstly, much has been published about the connection between physical and mental strength. So I'm introducing what this paragraph is going to be about. And now I go on to explain it. This means that the stronger and more healthy the body, the stronger and more healthy the mind. Here's my detail. Physical exercise leads to more energy and focus, which can then be applied to academic study. Students who are more physically active will have more physical and mental reserves to face the challenges of academic life. The detail is directly linked to my question. I end my sentence with a conclusion, my paragraph with a conclusion. So this is why universities should invest in sports facilities. So I'm reiterating my opinion. Second body paragraph starts in the same way, topic, paragraph, topic. On the other hand, there are those who say that students can participate in sports outside of university and that they're individually responsible for their physical health. However, I disagree. My explanation, most students only work part-time or not at all. Therefore, they do not have the disposable income to spend on expensive gym memberships, and without good sporting facilities on campus, may otherwise not participate in physical activity. So, it would be beneficial to students for universities to invest more in sports facilities for students to use on campus. Now, my conclusion is going to summarize my opinion. To conclude, though the prestige of universities is usually measured by their academic facilities, such as their libraries, I personally believe that they should start paying more attention to students' physical health by investing more in sporting facilities on campus. Summarize the topics. This will help students who cannot afford gym memberships to get the much needed exercise that will assist their mental health and academic performance. So here I'm actually summarizing in the last sentence what I discussed in my first and second body paragraphs. Okay, so how does that structure compare to the essay that you have written? Now, on the test day, you're going to have time, or you should actually leave time to actually check your essay. So you want to go back and read your essay before you click submit. You want to go back and check for organization. Are your ideas well organized? Have you followed the essay and paragraph structure? How is your language? Have you used correct grammar, vocabulary? Have you used a lot of repeated words? You might want to go back and change some words so that you're not repeating yourself. You also want to look at how well you've answered the question. Okay, does every sentence in your essay somehow support your opinion and link back to the topic? So let's take a look then on that note at how the essay is assessed. So it's assessed out of 5, from 1 to 5, but I've only gone down to 2 here. And then your score is averaged out of 30. So to get a 5, you need to have achieved all of the following 4 things. Effectively addressed the topic, meaning answered the question, and the task. So meaning written at least 300 words and done what the essay asked you to do. You need to have given a well-organized and developed response with appropriate explanation and details. Well-organized, meaning following the structure that we've just gone through, introducing your topic, explaining your topic, giving details, and then concluding your topic. Appropriate explanations and details, meaning that these are relevant and support your opinion. You need to have written a unified essay response with a clear progression of ideas and coherence. So what does that actually mean? Unity means that all of your ideas are one. They all relate back to the question. Progression means that your ideas are logically connected. And coherence means that you logically connect those ideas with use of reference words, with use of linking words, things like that, so that the reader can very easily follow your ideas. And finally, you need to have written sentence variety and appropriate word choice, meaning that you've chosen the right words, the right vocabulary, with minor errors. So you are allowed to make mistakes, but very minor mistakes and only a few instances of mistakes. With a 4, you also need to have achieved all 4 of these things. So yes, you've addressed the topic, but maybe you haven't fully elaborated all your points. So maybe you haven't gone into enough detail. It's generally well organized and developed. So there might be some lack of organization, but it's only minor. It's a unified response with clear progression, but sometimes you might digress, meaning there might be a couple of sentences that aren't directly related to the topic. And in relation to sentence variety and word choice, there are some minor errors, but these do not affect the meaning. Okay, moving into a 3. A 3 means that your essay is marked by one or more of the following. So maybe you have addressed the topic with somewhat developed explanations. So meaning that you've attempted to develop your topic, but haven't really sort of achieved that. Or your connection between your ideas may be obscured. So it might not be clear what the connection between your ideas are. You may have used inconsistent sentence formation and word choice, resulting in lack of clarity and occasional obscure meaning. So that means that on some occasions, the reader might not understand what you mean. You have used accurate but limited range of structures and vocabulary. So although your sentence structures might be accurate, you might not have that many mistakes, you've used a limited range. So maybe you've only written in simple sentences, for example. So if you've done one of these things, your essay is going to get a 3. And a 2, it means that possibly you gave a limited development in your response. So your paragraphs, really the ideas didn't develop, you didn't explain them or give enough detail. Possibly the organization was not adequate. So maybe the paragraph structure was unclear and a bit confusing, or your explanations or details were not appropriately related to the task or didn't support your opinion. There might be noticeable errors in vocabulary and sentence structure. Okay, so this is how the essay is marked. So you might want to take a screenshot or a photo of this and then use this to actually look at your own essay that you wrote in this lesson and ask yourself, did I address the topic fully? Are my paragraphs all well organized and developed? Have I repeated myself, or are my ideas clear? Looking at the variety of your sentence structures, the accuracy of your sentence structures, and your vocabulary. And then you can give yourself a score. Also, if you would like us to actually give you feedback, me or one of the other TOEFL teachers here at E2 Language, I suggest that you book in for a writing tutorial. And then myself or one of the other TOEFL teachers would be happy to take a look at your writing sample and give you some feedback. Okay, so that brings us to the end. I'm going to take a look now at some of your questions. All right, so I'm going to read, oops, here we are. A few have come in. Okay. So some of you have given me some nice examples here of introductions, or lots of them have come in. Okay, so David has given a great question. He's written one question from the sample essay that I shared with you. Why the opinion sentence is not something like, this essay will discuss why universities should invest as much in student sporting facilities as they do in libraries. So I said, I agree, and this essay will explain why, but David has gone into a little bit more detail, and actually that sentence is excellent. So if you use that, that would be a really great way to express your opinion. So well done, David. So I used a more simple structure. David's, yours was a little bit more sophisticated. So well done, because you actually carried that off very well. Ahmed, in my opinion, about the following statement for grades is more important for students to learn. Okay, good. So your opinion is it's more important for students to really learn than to get high grades. So if that's your opinion, that's great, but you need to give me some details and examples about why. So you might want to talk about how each student has different potential and different levels, and grades don't necessarily reflect that. So some really nice sentences here, guys. I like what I see. I wish I could really go and comment on all of them. Good, Edwin, excellent. Yep, David, another one. In relation to the conclusion, this essay discussed reason 1 and 2, and then give your general opinion. Does it matter the order? No. So you can use the conclusion example that I gave, where I summarize my opinion and then my reasons, or you can flip it and summarize your reasons and then end with the conclusion. So as long as you do both of those things, the order that you do them in the conclusion, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I hope I have addressed the majority of your questions. You guys seem to have got it from what I can see of the sentences that you submitted. Did you all write your full essays on paper or on the computer? Have you saved them? Okay, great. Yeah, so every essay that you write, keep it, go back, proofread it, improve it, check it against the evaluation, this thing here that I showed you. And then each essay that you write, you know, go back and compare. And it's a really great way to get lots of writing practice and practice with lots of different topics as well, because you never know what you're going to get on the day, so you'll be more prepared. And to also see your progress as well. It's a really nice feeling to look back at the first essay you wrote compared to this essay and go, oh, wow, I see lots of improvement. And also the more practice you get really applying these structures and thinking on the spot, because 30 minutes will go by quite quickly. So a lot of these essay topics ask you to think about things that you may not have considered in the past. So you really need to sort of be quick about generating ideas. So the first thing I would ask myself when I get an essay question is, do I agree or do I not agree? So yes or no. And then take it from there and think of at least 2 reasons to support your opinion. Reason 1 will be your first paragraph. Reason 2 will be your second paragraph. And that will give you sort of a nice clear framework to work with. Okie dokie. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on Thursday for some speaking. We're going to look at speaking task 3 and 5, so understanding campus situations. and they're going to be student conversations. And as usual, I'm going to give you a sample and some practice. Okay, see you Thursday. Bye.